guys, it's Nicole in Nesting Haven. Today I'm going to share with you a huge Pyrex haul. These are all vintage Pyrex pieces that I've picked up over the course of the last 3 months or so, starting around Mother's Day. So I just figured I would just set them off to the side and share them all in one big haul for you guys. So hopefully, if you're a Pyrex fan like me, you guys are going to enjoy this. So the first piece I picked up on Mother's Day, actually my husband wanted to take me around to antique malls to buy some Pyrex. He didn't actually give me a budget or anything, but I kind of gave myself a budget of around $20, and I found a couple pieces. So I got this black on white gooseberry bowl. This is a Cinderella bowl. This was put out in 1957 through 1966, this pattern here, but the black and white actually was discontinued in 1962. This is the smallest bowl in the Cinderella nesting bowl set. Gooseberry was actually the first of 2 patterns that was released on these Cinderella style bowls. The other pattern was butter print. You guys might know it as the Amish print. So Cinderella bowls basically just have these little handle spouts on it here. They're actually 2 different sizes. If you look real close, you can see this one is bigger and this one is a smaller spout. So it's kind of a neat feature. Gooseberry was actually one of the first 4 patterns on the printed Pyrex style. So that's kind of neat. It's one of the older patterns for sure. So this particular color was said to be only made in the 4-piece Cinderella bowl set, but I've actually seen them in some smaller casserole dishes with the same, color and pattern on it. So I'm not sure what's up with that. So this is actually the smallest bowl in the set. And the interesting thing about this set is that it comes in 2 different colors. It alternates. So the next size up is actually a pale yellow bowl with the same black gooseberry print, and then the third size switches back to the black on white, and then the largest bowl in the set is actually a black on yellow design again. So that's kind of neat. I don't have any other bowls in my collection. This is my first gooseberry piece, and actually the most popular gooseberry pattern piece is in pink on white and a white on pink version, which I would absolutely love to have, but they actually are pretty well sought after, and if you come across them, a knowledgeable seller that knows its worth, you're going to be paying up pretty good for the pink set. So definitely, if you ever come across the pink set for cheap, pick them up, guys. Even if you don't like them, collect them for yourself. You could definitely resell them and make yourself some good money, so definitely do that. Another gooseberry design was actually a promotional piece that was in a gold on beige. It's pretty rare to find, but it does exist. So that is all I know about gooseberry, and now I'll show you the next piece. So this is the other piece I got on Mother's Day. This piece I picked up for $12.99, so I pretty stayed stayed in my self-inflicted $20 budget there. I feel like that's paying up a little bit, but at antique mall, it's not really that bad, and it did come with a lid, so I figured for a lidded piece, it's, a fair enough price. I didn't have any Pyrex pieces in this early American design, that's what it's called, yet, so I thought that would be a nice start to my collection with that. Now, this is a 472 casserole bowl. And in Canada, actually, they released this, but they called it Early Canada or Early Canadian instead of Early American. So that's kind of, neat, a little marketing trick they used, I guess. Now, this pattern came out in 1962, and they discontinued it in 1971. So it had a pretty good long run there. It was quite popular. This was actually the first pattern that was printed in 22 karat gold. My piece isn't 22 karat gold, but the coloring that these come in, it'll be gold on brown, which this has a set that will alternate with that, as well as like the nesting bowls and stuff. And the brown on white, which is what I have here. There's a few exceptions to that coloring scheme. There's also a white design on a brown background in a few pieces. And there's actually some rare released just for like test marketing that they came out with. It was gold on red, gold on turquoise, gold on like a dark yellow or orange as well. So those are probably pretty rare to find, but they do exist out there somewhere. Now, the early American design was actually the fourth design to be released on the Cinderella style bowls that I showed you before. And it comes, in a variety of other dishes as well. It comes in like a chip and dip set, crafts, mugs. There's a 3-piece casserole set, and there's also a 3-piece bake, serve, and store set. So you can find this design in many different styles of Pyrex. So I got this piece at Goodwill for $3. It was marked $4, but I actually got 25% off of it with my discount card that I have that allows me to save money based on the amount I spend. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you guys know what that's all about. This is a flame glow pattern in this is a 402 bowl. This was only made for 3 years from 1974 to 1976. And it kind of has this orange to red blending look to it. They're basically all the same color, except it will alternate by starting with the same color that the last nesting bowl left off on the top. So if you actually were to stack your nesting set this way, the next bowl would have started with the orange color and then faded to red, and the bowl after that would have started with red and faded to orange. So typically you would nest them inside of each other, but that is the way that they made them. Now my bowl is a little banged up. I did only pay $3 for it, but you can see there's some paint wear on it. But not too bad overall. I don't have any in this particular pattern, so I was happy to pick this up for sure for $3, and I look forward to trying to find the other pieces out in the wild somewhere. I definitely prefer, picking these up at a thrift store or yard sale for cheap, as opposed to going to an antique mall or, buying them on eBay or something. Those prices can be pretty crazy. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of fun. The hunt of it is kind of almost more fun than collecting it, really. I really enjoy them, though. So this pattern was actually made to take place of the dot nesting bowls, which I absolutely would love to have the dot set as well. But I've never come across those other than for really expensive at an antique mall. But yeah, the dot bowls retired in 1973, the year before these came out, and these were meant to replace them. The difference of the bowls, basically the dot bowls were released at different times, which is kind of interesting, where the flame glow bowls were all released at the same time, but they still sold them individually and not as a full set of 4. So I'm not really sure why they did that, but apparently they thought marketing it that way would do better for them. So, maybe people didn't want the full set and wanted to wanted to mix and match. So I guess that's probably why they did that. This pattern actually only came in the 4-piece nesting bowl set in the 400 series. So if you like this particular color, this is all you can get it in. You can't get it in like casserole dishes or anything. So it's kind of neat. So I paid $7.50 for this bowl here. It was marked $10, but I again got the 25% discount at Goodwill. I love when that happens, when I'm able to pick up enough items to get a good deal on overpriced Pyrex at Goodwill. You can see it's in fairly good condition. There are a few kind of flea bites, a little bit of paint scratches on it there, but not really too bad overall. I think, it's a pretty good shape. This is probably the worst of it right here. So overall, it's a pretty nice bowl. Now, this is called Autumn Harvest, and this is a 403 mixing bowl. These were made from 1979 to 1986. Of course, the year when our much-loved Opal Pyrex was all discontinued. It makes me sad to think about that, wondering all the really interesting patterns they would have came up with through the years had they not stopped making those. Now, this design here was actually the last design they ever printed on the refrigerator-style dishes as well. And there was actually an earlier version of the same pattern. They call it wheat. And the difference is on the wheat, it's actually a tan on a brown color. So the autumn harvest will be either a rust or an orange with the same pattern. This tends to be more of an ivory color compared to the wheat. So I do have a orange piece in my collection already to share with you guys, just so you can kind of see the difference in color, where this one is rust down here and that's the orange. This is actually a family heirloom piece that began my journey on my Pyrex collecting. This was my very first piece of Pyrex. This is a 401 autumn harvest mixing bowl, and this one is a 403. Now, there's supposed to be a size in between a 401 and 403. This should be a 402, right? Notice how this one is orange and that one is rust. So it wouldn't make sense that, where they alternate colors, the middle bowl, you'd be like, what's that color is that going to be? You want to know the reason why? It's because in 1980, they actually started releasing the autumn harvest in the rust only color in all the bowl sizes. So I actually know this is from at least 1980 because of that, because this 403 bowl in the original set should have been orange. So it's kind of interesting fact you guys might not have known. See, what else can I share with you guys on this? So I do know that the autumn harvest design was actually the only Pyrex design on the C and store, the store and C, they call C and store and C canisters. You can find them in the Corningware compatible patterns or like solid colors, but this is the actual only Pyrex design you can find on those. So that's kind of neat. And, this design comes in a lot of variety of pieces. So, if you're into collecting this kind of design, you can definitely find it in any, pretty much any variety that you would have for a need in your kitchen. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool piece. My mom really enjoys collecting the autumn harvest as well. She has some pieces that are different than mine, so I'll have to see if I can maybe steal her sometime and show you guys her pieces. So I paid $3 at Goodwill for this. It was marked $4, but I got it for 25% off. This is the 1063 white opal divided dish. It was made from 1959 to 1967, and this is different than the 063 and the other oval Pyrexes because you'll notice the sides are a bit curved, as well as the handles are wider and curved as well. So this piece here was sold only in this plain opal color. You can find it in a bluebell pattern as well, but that was a promo piece, so it's a bit rarer to come across. But, other than that, it was only made in the plain white opal. No lids actually exist for these dishes here, but the 945 lid is pretty close, and if you need a lid, that will probably work for you. So these are really good to use, if you want to serve two different types of vegetables or something like that. So I think it's a neat piece. Some people don't like the divided dishes. Some divided dishes in the other styles have covers that will come with either they're flat with a design on it, or some have a divider in them as well. So just because you see a divider in a cover doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't go with it, because some did come that way. But I think that's going to do it for my Pyrex haul. I guess I'm going to split this into 2 videos. I wasn't really thinking it was going to run too long, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see the second part to this haul. And give me a like if you enjoyed this video, or if you just like vintage Pyrex stuff because it's cool. Definitely give me a like, and we'll catch you next time, guys.